serious note out of the way, and that is the very first thing I would like to do tonight is thank all of our troops serving both at home and around the country. And a special thank you goes out to Major Todd Southern, who could not be with us tonight as he is on deployment in Afghanistan right now. So thank you very much. Next I want to thank Joey and Betty Sheffield, my lovely mother and father-in-law, for this awesome, awesome party. I would like to thank my dad and stepmom Christine for their party last night, right after our wedding ceremony, number 2. And finally, I would like to thank my mom and very soon to be stepdad, who's awesome, for their rehearsal dinner last night, as well as their, I'm sure it's going to be great, hungover brunch tomorrow. Thank you guys. So, for those of you guys who don't know, everyone got the invitation. Yes, Jess and I did meet at a bar. What you may not know, Jess didn't remember meeting me at a bar. And so, for the short of it, it took me a week of, as she calls it, Facebook stalking, for her to go on a date with me. But finally, she went, and me, being the absolute gentleman that I am, took her to Waffle House. So we continued our courtship, and about 3 weeks into our relationship, I had to go back to Vermont for a week of makeup drill, because I didn't go for a couple months. And so I go to Vermont, and Jess gives me this bag before I go. And for those of you who are local, you may know what Weehaw cards are. Those of you who don't, they're just local, they're cards made by a local woman with really cool sayings. And she gave me a card that said, "You rock." And 3 weeks into my relationship with Jess, I was completely head over heels in love. So while I'm in Vermont, I learned that we're going to deploy to Afghanistan. Which was, I knew it was coming, I just was hoping it wasn't coming that soon. So I called Jess and tell her we're going to deploy to Afghanistan in a year. And come to find out, much later on, Jess had no idea what that meant. So she was cool with it. She was like, "Oh, all right, sounds good." So we continue our relationship, and in October, we were in Vermont. My stepsister, who's here tonight, was getting married. And we went to the wedding, had the wedding, and I knew that it was the place I wanted to do it. I just really didn't think it was the appropriate time because my stepsister got married and I did not want to steal any thunder from that wedding. But beside my, not my better judgment, but besides some judgment, I went ahead and proposed while we were there, and she said yes. But because I wasn't planning on doing it, I didn't have a ring. She still said yes. That's cool. So we talked about when we're going to get married and how we're going to get married, with me leaving like a month later. I was really impressed she said yes. I mean, I was leaving in a month for a year. So we decided we're not going to get married until after I get home. And that was supposed to be this night. Completely, this was supposed to be our wedding. Well, I go to Afghanistan, and as John pointed out earlier, it was intense. And I realized that Jess was the most important thing in the world to me, and that when I was home the next time, that I really wanted to make sure that we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. So we talked about it, and we decided we would surprise our very close family with a wedding that no one would know about until we literally got married in our living room. And so we did. We were married for 4 days, and I went back to Afghanistan. and I was in Afghanistan for about 7 days, and I was flying back to where we were stationed, and I was in a helicopter crash. And I will tell you that when you are 700 feet in the air and falling so fast that the air is whistling around you, and the only thing that you can think about is that girl right there, you absolutely know it's the right thing in the world. And so I know, without a doubt, that there is nothing better for me in this world than Jess. So I thank you all very much for coming to celebrate with us. And one thing that my deployment taught me is you just never know when it's all going to end. So all I can ask of all of you is live each day to its fullest, have a blast, and if you want to, because this band is so good, please, dance on the tables, all right?